What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled afternoon of Mandrel bending frame rails. So today I have to bend up a pair of 33 Dodge Roadster frame rails at a 2x4 by 1/8 wall. So stick around and we'll get to bending. So first things first, I've got our bend worksheet here with all our layout line dimensions and our bend angles. So I've got one rail weld seam up, one rail weld seam down. That way, just like on all the other frame rail videos, when I bend them opposite of one another, the weld seam will always be on the inside and the rails will mirror each other. I think it's nice, clean and tidy when the weld seams are on the inside of the rail, so I keep everything symmetrical that way. So first thing, I'm gonna come up and I'm just gonna make an arrow, and that arrow is to let me know that this is the front side of the tube facing out of the machine. And like I mentioned in some of the other videos, that doesn't always mean this is the actual front of the frame. This is just the front of the tube facing out of the bender in our bend profile. So I'm going to start laying out all our bend dimensions. So we'll pull the tape measure and we'll get everything laid out. All right, so bend 1 is at 4 3/4. And that is 23.2 degrees. Bend 2 is at 23 15/16. And that is at 32.2. Bend 3 is at 38 7/8. That's 26.9. Bend 4 is at 119 7/16. And that is 15 degrees. Bend 5 is at 139 3/16. And I'll just run back up to the front and double check as I go that I've got all my bends laid out correctly. With everything laid out, then I can take our square and we can draw our completed line across the tube. We'll flip the tubes up and we can mark the other side for when we rotate the tube to get our bends to go the opposite direction of the bend before it. All right, everything is laid out and ready to start bending. I'm gonna take one of the rails and just set it to the side for now so we can utilize the cart to help us load and unload the material in and out of the bender. All right, I'm gonna put some gloves on to help keep some of the bend lubricant off of my skin. Just makes it easier for less to wash off later, even though I get it everywhere. We'll drag our bucket of bend lube over and get some in the end of our tube there, and I'll coat the mandrel. This makes it so much easier using a cart on wheels, especially being here alone to bend these, because then I can just kind of wheel it in while getting everything lined up. And from here, I'll just shove the tube the rest of the way in and we can get to bending. So I'll get the bender turned on and we'll do a single bend. And the first bend is 23.2. Then we can extend the mandrel. And we can line up our mark with our gauge here. And what I'm gonna do, because this 1/8 wall can be a little hard to handle, I'm just using a piece of 1x1 solid square stock as a handle, just to make it a little easier for me to line everything up. This way, by using the bar just to help hold this in place, that way my fingers aren't anywhere near the clamping die when it comes into lock the tube in place. We will extend our pressure die. Double check that we're at 23.2, and we'll make the first bend. The mandrel, we can retract our pressure die. Then we can retract the clamping die and re-zero our die. From there, we will re-extend the mandrel out, and our bend worksheet notes that we do not have to rotate the tube on this bend. So now that I've got a little bit of tubing out here, I don't need that 1x1 to help support the tube. I'll extend our clamp, and our bend angle is 32.2. Enter that, and we can make that bend. We'll retract the mandrel, retract our pressure die, retract our clamp, then we can zero our main die there. I will go ahead and extend the mandrel, and while that's doing that, I will change our bend angle to 26.9. And on this one, we have to rotate our tube. Line our mark up with our gauge, extend our clamp die, extend our pressure die, and bend. Retract the mandrel out, retract our pressure die, retract our clamp die, and we will zero out the main die. I'll go ahead and extend the mandrel, and I'll grab our cart. And as noted on our bend worksheet, we do not need to rotate for this bend either. We will line that up with our mark, extend our clamp die, and I'll go ahead and change our bend angle to 15 degrees, extend our pressure die, and we can bend. Retract the pressure die again, retract our clamp die, zero out the main die, and I'll go ahead and set our last bend for 23.6. Extend the mandrel, and this will need rotated. Line that up with our gauge, extend the clamp die, extend the pressure die, double check, 23.6, 23.6, and we will make the final bend on this rail. We can retract the mandrel, and I'll get our cart set up to help support that while it's working. Retract our pressure die, retract our clamp die, and we will zero our main die back. And from here, I can pull this section of rail out, set it to the side, and get set back up to bend the second rail. So I'll speed that section up, and by the end of this video, we will have two matching sets or two matching individual rails to make one complete pair of 34 Dodge Roadster frame rails. All right, there you have it. Another set of frame rails bent and ready to go out the door. Again, these are 2x4 by 188 Mandrel bent rails for 34 Dodge Roadsters. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to mix it up with some tube bending videos, metal shaping videos, business videos, and just kind of keep everything working together and have a little bit of a mix of everything going on. So drop down in the comments section, let me know what you think of this video. Make sure to check out some of our other videos and see other projects going on in the shop. Tell some friends, share it on Facebook or Instagram. I'm really looking forward to the 2024 year to grow this channel into something amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching, your continued support, and we will catch you guys on the next one.